Hey guys, Comic Book Junkie here again. This video is going to be about Eddie the Comic Guy's contest video. First off, if you're not subscribed to Eddie the Comic Guy, you guys really need to subscribe to him. I mean, I love watching his videos. I mean, even the videos that he just posts about, like just watch his saga videos as he's picking those books up. It's like watching your kid at Christmas. I mean, I just love the enthusiasm he has and how he's just a nice, super guy and, go out of your way to check his stuff out. And you'll really like some of the stuff that he puts up there. And he also is an artist, and he makes some really cool stuff. He made my cover page, the Comic Book Junkie. So just a great guy to check out. Now his contest is he wants you to show your favorite story arc with Superman or Batman, and then also any original art. Now, I don't have a lot of Batman stuff, so I'm pretty much going to show you all the Batman stuff that I have. I don't have a lot of Superman stuff either. A big bulk of my collection I collected when I was younger, and I focus mainly on Marvel and, as you know, the X-Men. So I'd trade away stuff or sell stuff to try to get other books that I was focused on. I mean, I've always liked Batman. I just don't have that much Batman stuff. So I have two graded books, Batman related. And the one is Detective Comics 475. That's signed by Jerry Robinson 9.2. I just love this cover, which is the sign of the Joker, and then he signed right underneath that. Just an awesome cover. And then my next one that is Batman related. If you would have asked about my favorite Batman stuff related to the animation stuff, I definitely would have said, when they introduced Harley Quinn. I used to love watching Harley Quinn on Batman. Just loved how she said Mr. J all the time. I just thought that was so cool. So here's Batman Adventures number 12, Near Mint 9.8 PGX, and then it's signed by Bruce Timms. So those are my two graded books that I have. Another one of my favorite covers that I have is The Brave and the Bold, the Batman, and then the House of Mystery on there. Then I have this one. And then I got this one that has Batman and Superman on it. Now, when it comes to my favorite arcs, there were two competitors, both that I actually still have, so it means I definitely like them. This is one of the newest. It's not even the actual individual books. This is the first, 4 books of the Justice League of America and New World Order. And this is a storyline where it's the Justice League versus basically some superpowered Martians. And the Martians take everybody down, and the only one that's left is Batman. And they're convinced that they're going to take over the world because the only person left is not a superhero. And the rest of the book proceeds to be Batman taking them all out, a couple of them at the same time, and they're trying to figure out how in the world he can be doing this. What did he have some hidden superpowers or something? And just a really cool story to see Batman outsmart. I love any storyline where he uses his brains. I mean, he is one of my favorite DC characters. I just don't have a lot of his stuff. I always liked that he was so super smart and such a detective. That's one issue that I had with the Batman movie that just came out with the Superman, is how Lex Luthor seemed to outsmart Batman and get him to go after Superman. That usually doesn't happen, and it just didn't seem to be done in a way that I was able to believe. And then my next favorite arc, I still have all these, is the Batman Nightfall books. This was a series that my friend and I collected together, and we went all around looking for all the individual books. Now, they say I don't have them all in first issue either. This is the third printing of this book, but went all around trying to find different copies of it. And I've only kept this because I love the story. It was just an amazing story where you have Bane, who's the super brute, but yet he's super smart. Now, I don't know many other comics that have made someone that's super strong. They always tend to make them not very intelligent or just a brute with no character. And I thought they did an excellent job in this series when, Bane gets all these other villains to basically fight and weaken Batman. And then 3, 4, I love that cover. There's number 5, 6. all these covers are pretty neat. All this Poison Ivy one as well. 8. There's 9. 10. I need to reboard these things. There's several things I need to reboard, and then I do have some of the original ones of this, but in this is just my reader set. I do have this first print of this one here, but just then he's all beat up, figures out who he is, and comes in there and takes him out and breaks his back, and he wants to break his spirit. And I just thought that was just an amazing storyline. I mean, and especially this was a more believable story of how Batman actually got beat. There's my 13. I don't think they've done Bane much justice since this series, but I mean, if there's any other good stories that you guys know of that Bane is in, I always like this character. You guys can let me know, because, like I said, I've not read a ton of the Batman books. Then I also kept this one. I had a lot of the other books, but I got rid of a lot of those. But I just love this cover on this one. So that's my favorite of the Batman storylines. And then Eddie wanted to see some art, original art and stuff. And my family has a lot of artistic ability. My dad does some amazing stuff. My kids are pretty good. And my cousin does some really amazing stuff. He was a graphic artist. Does stuff that amazes me, but then he went off and decided to go into environmentalism stuff and didn't actually use the talents that he has. So I thought I'd show off a couple things that my son Jacob's done. The first thing is he made this little Deadpool, little paper guy, and he would take this to school with him everywhere that he'd go. And what I think is really cool, my wife doesn't think it's very cool, but he actually in his 5th grade picture snuck this into the class picture, and they missed it. So I suppose he's the first kid to ever sneak something in and get it through published on their class picture. So I was looking for that. I was going to show it, but I couldn't find it. If I find it, I'll show it in a different video. But it's a whole class picture of all the kids, and then there's Jacob holding up this Deadpool little figure. I thought it was hilarious, and I couldn't help but laugh, and I was kind of proud of him for doing it, but my wife not so much. She wasn't too happy with him sneaking that into the picture, but I think that's pretty cool. And then the next thing I got here, and the pictures aren't the greatest, but so 2 years ago, my son had a pretty bad head injury and had a really bad concussion, had concussion syndrome, and this thing lasted for like 9 weeks to where he was having issues. And during that time, he can't be watching TV, and he can't do a whole lot of things, and wasn't allowed to be running around or playing. I mean, it's pretty much the worst punishment you can give a kid. So at school, he wasn't allowed to go anywhere, and some of his friends would go in to have lunch with him in the office. And basically, this whole entire time, they created this comic book. And it's the amazing adventures of Tech Man, Ninja Grandpa, Ninja Grandma, and Barf Boy. Written by Lucas Denny and Logan Bros, as well as artist by Jacob Meyer. So I thought this thing was pretty cool. And they spent a lot of time working on this little thing. And granted, the art's like little stick figures and cars, but the fact that they're 7 years old and they come up with their own comic book, I just thought that was pretty cool. And they have some other pretty neat art that he's actually drawn pictures of that he's done really good jobs on. But for me, being a comic book fan, the fact that him and his friends made a comic was pretty cool. And the fact that his friends would sit there and help him out, was pretty neat. So while I wish he wouldn't have got the head injury, I mean, he got a lot of long-term benefits from that, of just some of the things he did. He also has a lot more appreciation for not playing video games. A lot of kids play a lot of video games, which he still does play video games. But we really got into board games when he was injured, and it's been a pretty cool hobby that we've enjoyed. And it's pretty neat this past summer when we played playing board games that when you get back to school, they have to write stuff that they've enjoyed and stuff. And one of his favorite things doing for the year was playing family board games with his parents. So that's kind of cool that you know, versus being on the tablet all the time. So other than that, that's all I got. You know, please check out Eddie the Comic Guy's channel. Enter his contest. Also, don't forget I have a contest going as well. So please enter my contest and submit your vids. And talk to you guys later.